There are seasons when life moves quickly. Doors open, prayers are answered, dreams begin to unfold. And then there are seasons of waiting for healing, waiting for direction, waiting for provision, waiting for restoration, waiting for prayers you've prayed 100 times before. And if we're honest, waiting can be one of the hardest parts of faith, because we naturally want answers now. We want clarity now. We want breakthrough now. But God's timing is often different from our own, not because He has forgotten us, but because He sees what we cannot. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 says, "To everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven." God works in seasons. There is a right time for everything He has planned. Waiting is not wasted time. It is often where God does His deepest work, not only around us, but within us. Isaiah chapter 40 says, "Those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." Notice what happens while waiting. Strength is renewed. Hope is restored. Faith is strengthened. Sometimes we think waiting means God isn't moving, but God is often working behind the scenes long before we can see the results. Psalm 27 says, "Wait on the Lord. Be of good courage, and He shall strengthen your heart." Wait, I say, on the Lord. Waiting is not passive. It is active trust. It is choosing to believe God's promises while the answer is still on the way. Abraham waited. Joseph waited. David waited. Even Jesus waited for the Father's timing. Throughout Scripture, God's greatest works often came after seasons of preparation. Galatians chapter 6 says, "Let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart." There is a due season, a harvest, a breakthrough. But Scripture encourages us not to give up before it arrives. Sometimes the temptation is to force what God has not yet opened, to settle because we're tired of waiting, to make decisions rooted in impatience instead of wisdom. But God's best is always worth waiting for. Psalm 37 says, "Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for Him." Rest, not striving, not worrying, not living in fear. Resting in the confidence that God is faithful. Waiting does not mean doing nothing. It means continuing to pray, continuing to trust, continuing to obey, continuing to thank God for His promises. Faith doesn't stop while waiting. Faith grows while waiting. Romans chapter 8 reminds us, "If we hope for what we do not see, we eagerly wait for it with perseverance." Hope keeps looking forward. Faith keeps believing. And perseverance keeps walking. If you've been waiting for an answer, waiting for healing, waiting for restoration, waiting for the right opportunity, or waiting for God to fulfill a promise, don't lose heart. God has not forgotten you. His timing has purpose, and His plans are always good. Let's declare these promises together. God's timing is perfect. I trust His plan for my life. I will not grow weary. I will not give up. God is working even when I cannot see it. My waiting is not wasted. My faith is growing stronger. I choose peace over anxiety. I choose trust over fear. God is faithful to complete what He has begun. The waiting season is not the end of your story. It is often the place where God prepares you for what comes next. He sees the whole picture. He knows the perfect time, and He is faithful to every promise He has made. Trust His timing, trust His heart, and remember, the God who gave you the promise will also be faithful to fulfill it.